Welcome to Botanical Trails Through the Juniper Forest. I'm your host, Brian Heater. Each week, I'll have a different guest join me to explore a pair of interesting gins. We'll chat a little bit about the gin and the distilleries, throw in a bit of trivia, hopefully laugh a bit, and then we'll go off the beaten path. Although I say that this is a podcast about gin, really this is just an excuse for me to spend time with my friends. But that'll just be our secret. Okay, let's start exploring. My guest today is a returning guest from season 1, Dave Spruitt. Dave, thanks for coming back on the show.
Happy to be here, man.
And we're doing kind of a little rerun, so to speak, of when you were on last time. We were originally going to try 2 gins from Scandinavia, but could only find one, and then sort of a Scandinavian-themed distillery out of Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Helped out. This time, we're able to do it proper. So, thanks to you, we actually have a gin from Denmark on your last trip there. And then recently, in Grand Rapids, we were able to get our hands on a gin out of Norway. Okay. So we have 2 gins out of Scandinavia, and so we're going to give those a try today. And I thought, what the heck? Let's start off with the gin from Denmark.
Okay.
So this is called Een Organic Gin, and this is their elderflower flavor. They have a number of different flavors available, and that's what we have. So we can try the little
sipper here.
Yeah, because I'm going to be interested to see your take on it. But
cheers.
Thanks for coming on.
They would say Skol.
Skol.
Skol. That's bright.
Yeah.
It may just be the peanuts I just ate too. But
No. It is. Like a slight sweetness, I think, to it.
Yeah.
So now, due to that, I had experimented last weekend with this. With it being an elderflower flavored gin, I was kind of like, they actually on their website recommend making this with either elderflower fever tree tonic or Mediterranean. Okay. And I'm like, well, let's see. Yeah. So I tried both. Personally, I found with the elderflower, it was actually almost a little too sweet.
I can see that.
Sometimes with certain gins, I found elderflower with elderflower, it actually complements it like really well. Mm-hmm. This one I thought just went to the sweet side. So I preferred with the Mediterranean tonic, and so that's also what I made for us for the cocktail. So it is just their gin along with the Mediterranean and then a little bit of lime. So
okay.
So that's
Let's
what we
give this
have
a try.
For the cocktail.
Cheers. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a nice balance there. I could see how if it was another elderflower, the tonic with the elderflower gin might be a little overwhelming or like too floral.
Yeah, because they even sort of jazzed this one up a little bit to give it that elderflower kick in this. So this is, as I mentioned, one of a series of focused flavored gins that this distillery produces. It's called Wild Distillery. And so this gin is distilled with hand-picked organic elderflowers from Sabbaticals on Bornholm. So I think that's a big island sort of just to the...
It's like a summer vacation island.
Yeah, sort of Copenhagen.
It's sort of like a Mackinac.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. You take the ferry over, you bring your bikes. You have a vacation. So
not only do they then distill it with the elderflowers, but then a bit of elderflower juice is also added to it. So they really kind of jazz this one up a little bit. So it's described as having a slightly perfumed aroma, and in addition to the elderflower, juniper and elegant notes of citrus also sort of stand out. The distillery is a microdistillery. It was established in 2019 by Henrik Nurst, and they emphasize local organic ingredients for their spirits, all found on the island of Bornholm. And they currently also, in addition to gin, distill vodka and aquavit. And then for their gin, they have 2 series. So they have this Een series and then a Wild series. The Een series, it's their organic series of different gins, and it includes elderflower, which we're having today, sea buckthorn, rosemary, orange, and then they also make a navy strength. And then the Wild is produced from wild Bornholm juniper berries and slow berries. So I'm guessing it's sort of their version of like a slow
gin. Yeah. Okay.
Which would be like a little
interesting.
Bit sweeter. Yeah. So, so did you just stumble upon this gin like when you were out and about?
I was there for Christmas a couple of years ago, and this was one of my wanted to bring back a bottle, and we had tried a couple of like sort of fancier like bottle shops, and they had plenty of gins, but they didn't have a lot from there, or like it was either too different, a seasonal thing that was heavily flavored. And then we were actually at a nicer grocery store, but a grocery store nonetheless, that had a large beer and wine selection and spirits, and I found it there. They also had some Founders beer on sale there that was very expensive, so I passed on that because I can get it right here in our hometown.
Yeah, and I think you sent me some pictures of. They also had some like unique Fever Tree tonic flavors that we can't get
here. The tonic flavors there were much wider, than we had here, and yeah, there was like a clementine, one that was just like almost like fluorescent orange. It looked so good, and I was like, I only have so much room in my suitcase. They just make a lot more than we can get our hands on here right now. So yeah, and then interesting enough, when I was leaving, flying out of Copenhagen Airport, of course, in the duty free, there was like same distillery, 3 little gin bottles in an all together pack.
Oh, okay.
That was
like a little sampler.
A little sampler, and I was like, God, let's keep it for the kids. But okay, maybe next time then.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely one day I'm going to try to just tag along with you on a trip over there, because I would like to get over there. And,
yeah.
I mean, you've just spoken really highly of it, and we've had other friends who have gone over to Denmark and really like it. And actually, my brother-in-law's brother lives in northern Denmark, so...
And we might have talked about this on the other episode that I was on in reference to the elderflower. It grows wild there sort of everywhere, like even in the city in Copenhagen where my brother and his family live. And in the summer you will see people like out there with a basket, like harvesting the flowers, and then they go home and they'll make like a elderflower simple syrup that they'll use to make basically like a summer lemonade.
Okay.
Yep. So like elderflower is just predominant and
super popular.
Yep, super popular there. There's elderflower honey that's just like super bright and floral, and the sea buckthorn also grows wild there, and it's like super salty, like snappy green.
I wonder what that gin would be like then, if it's a saltiness like that.
I mean, it could be more along the lines, depending on how they used it, whether fresh or dried. Almost like a kombu, sort of nori, seaweedy type of thing.
Yeah, it was at least one and maybe both of the gins Lori brought back from Iceland also utilized like seaweed in types of seaweed in their botanicals.
You'll see it in some of their cuisine, particularly some of their like new Nordic cuisine. It's featured prominently as sort of like a salty, briny, addition to a dish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that
yeah.
We probably just don't see as much of that here.
Yeah.
So.
Particularly without a sea anywhere around us.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're doing that up in Maine. I don't know.
So, and your brother and his family are actually kind of in the midst of something that my youngest sister Amy and her family had done a couple of years ago, and is sort of their own spin on the radical sabbatical. So they're here in the U.S. for about 6 months?
6 months total. They arrived in Michigan mid-July, and they are traveling across America for 6 months. We had a lot of fun here in Michigan when they got here. I took a little road trip to sort of get used to it. Came back. My folks came out from Florida, and we spent some time together here. And then they headed out east, and they ended up back in Grand Rapids for a couple of weeks in early September, which was also still very warm when they were here. They came for the warmest parts of all of our warm and dry summer, and now they're out on the West Coast, Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and it sounds like they've been having a pretty good time. Do you know whereabouts they are out west right now?
They are, I think, in Oregon.
Okay.
I can check, though.
Did they go, like, through the Badlands and stuff
we
like that?
We have family out west.
Oh, yeah.
So they went and, either stayed with or stayed close to family out there. Yes, they are in Oregon currently.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and I had the pleasure of I'd known your brother before, but getting to meet his family.
Yep, we had a little family reunion here at the Polish Falcons in August. It was great. A lot of people came, and it was a lot of people, like, connect names and faces.
And you've shown and shared pictures and videos of, like, the kids before, but it's great to, like, meet them in person.
Yeah.
They're definitely just getting bigger.
Yeah.
It's been, that's a cool thing that they get to do. Your niece and nephews are a little bit older than my nieces when they did it, but it was such just an amazing experience for them. So hopefully they get, some of the same out of that, getting to just see those really kind of great parts of the country out west.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they're really getting to see a lot of things that they're not exposed to in Denmark. Also, in Danish culture, travel is really revered, and not necessarily revered, but highly thought of and praised. And it's Danes do a lot of traveling, and so the idea of a 6-month international trip wasn't groundbreaking over there.
Yeah.
So, like,
as different as
it is here. Yeah. So. Yeah, they're having a great time, and the boys are doing some, like, remote sort of schooling, and it's a lot of really just checking in with their class. The middle kid is learning French from my sister-in-law, and the youngest, he's documenting and, like, sending back pictures and videos to his class back in Denmark.
Yeah. That's great. And then did they rent their house out? Is that what they're doing?
Yep. They've rented their house out in Copenhagen for different time periods, and they will be going back in January.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Well, I'll be interested to see how their West Coast swing goes. But
they're going to be in California for a little bit, and then down. It's 19,000 miles, so I can share the final road map with you at the end.
No, that'll be fun. And then you get to catch up with them.
Yep, we're all going to meet down in Florida for Christmas, and so that'll be really nice. It's been a long time since we've all been able to be together on the actual holiday, so that'll be spectacular.
And then for your upcoming vacation schedules, do you have a time frame when you're thinking about
another trip over there?
Return trip over to visit them?
It'll probably be another year or so. I think my next trip will be somewhere warm in the winter, so it'll have to be another time. But my last trip there was over Christmas, and it was super charming. It's the city really goes all in. There's lots of just decorations everywhere and lots of great food. I mean, some strong flavors, so it's not for everyone. Yeah.
So no, that sounds like a great time. I was just reading something recently, and I wish I could remember what it was. But they had talked about sort of that tradition that you had told me about, where the kids graduate high school, and then they sort of like dress up as sailors or something similar, and then they kind of like. They're out in public, and I can't remember if it's like those pedal cruiser type things that they're on, or
it's not a pedal cruiser. It's basically like an open tour bus.
Okay, that's what it was.
And yes, they dress like sailors, and this would be like, I think the kids would be 18. I think their family friend just had theirs and was able. My brother and his family actually hosted it at their house. So, your classmates all get together. And you basically go and tour all of your classmates' homes, or maybe like not all of them. And then there's like a little party. It's usually outdoors because it's usually in May or June. And you do see these just groups of roving teenagers, inebriated and hanging off the backs of these little open top tour buses, dressed like sailors, going from classmates to classmates' house, having a couple of snacks, a little party, a game or something, and then off to the other one.
And that's sort of like the end of high school for them, right?
Yeah, that's like the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting tradition. I wonder how that got started.
I'll have to do a follow-up question.
Yeah, and check on that. But yeah, I remember that had read, but you had showed me the pictures because your brother, they had hosted it this year, and I was just like, yeah, that's just the way it
sounds.
Yeah.
Yep. It reminds me a little bit of some of our like graduation open house parties, but less traveling.
Yeah, and it seems maybe slightly more relaxed, at least the way it's described. But, just not.
There's not 200 people there coming and glad handing
you. It's more the kids are just like moving around.
Yeah, the kids are moving around. They're having a little party. They're having a real good time. It's fun to watch. How about that?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
Those little outfits, those things cracked me up. So
how are you enjoying this halfway through?
Yeah, it's a tasty one. I do prefer it with the Mediterranean tonic, but like you said, like just the sipper, it was a nice kind of bright, refreshing gin.
It didn't taste too like hot booze wise. Like how does it percentage wise or ABV wise?
I'd have to look. I mean, it was. I think it's kind of like average for those, which is usually. I think gins come in typically between like 42 to 44, because I want to say Navy Strength goes up over like 46, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
Because, or at least back in the day, they did in what is considered Navy Strength, because it used to be able to have to still like catch on fire in case it hit the gum.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Astute listeners will be able to pull that fact out from previous trivia questions, I believe.
It was that, and then I think Steve and I had done two.
Sounds
Navy
like a Steve question.
Gins, yeah, when he was on. So we had done that. So speaking of that, we had talked at the start that for trivia, I would go first. So.
Okay.
We will go from there.
So do you need the title as well?
You can tell me.
Okay, National Treasure.
Okay.
Question about the national beverages of various countries.
Okay.
Which of the following is not considered one of the 15 different national liquors of Italy?
Italy has 15 national.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So you should be up on this, Paisan. Limoncello, Campari, Anisette, and Frangelico.
I will go with Anisette.
And you would be correct.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got lucky on that one. I only guessed that because I didn't recognize it. So.
I feel like it's referenced in Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
And it is an anisey liqueur. But that would also track for, parts of Italy, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, Campari for sure. Limoncello, I mean...
Those two sound like summer.
All the time. Or you'll just go to, like, Italian place. They'll just give it to you, like, when you get your check and stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's just more... but it was the Frangelica and the Anisette I just wasn't sure on. So that was a guess. But in my head, I had narrowed it down to those two.
Are you keeping score? Do you have a running tally somewhere?
I don't. I remember... When it first started Gin Trivia, I went on a little tear originally. In fact, Jim accused me of cheating, which I hadn't done, but I was just on a run. But then all of a sudden, I was not getting them right.
Are there any FanDuel parlays on the
that
trivia?
Would be hilarious. Yeah, we should start offering odds. Will both get them? What would that be? About plus 400? So
is the guest going to ask first, or is that guest going to ask second?
That would be hilarious. We'll have to start, setting up a little option for that. That would be so funny. So, all right. Well, we'll take a quick little break, and then we'll give a little gin from Norway a try.
Yeah.
All right. We are back. Excuse me. And as I mentioned, we are going to go with a gin from Norway. It's called Harahorn. And let's give this a little sip.
Little sippy sip?
See. Yeah. And I'll be interested to see what you think, because this has allegedly a lot more botanicals.
That's more sort of traditional when I think of a gin.
A gin?
Yeah.
You think it's a little more juniper forward to some extent?
A little bit more juniper forward, a little bit more of a alcohol burn,
Yep, there was a little more burn on that one.
Yep. But not just juniper. There's like something else I can't quite
there's there's quite a few things in here, and definitely like at the end there's a lot of
it's sort of brighter
kind
and
of like
lemony and like.
So this is called Harrowhorn Small Batch Gin. It's a genuine craft gin. The distillery produces only 300 liters at a time. So they use berries and herbs from the wilds of Norway and out of their own botanical garden. The gin is distilled from a base of potatoes. That's kind of what they use for the base alcohol. And it contains nearly 24 botanicals, including wild blueberries, which is, I didn't do it, but they do recommend blueberries as one of the garnishes. Rhubarb, seaweed, again, angelica root, and wild marjoram, marjoram. Marjoram, yeah. Now, I had showed you the bottle because I said this will just sort of help. So the bottle contains a picture, basically, of a jackalope.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's a moose jackalope inside there, too, because it's sort of staring at me from behind you there.
And Harrowhorn is Scandinavian. It's the Scandinavian name for rabbit with antlers.
Okay.
So that's kind of where that comes
But the listeners can't see, but they're like moose antlers, not like deer antlers.
Right, yeah. Definitely more like moose or elk
a little
type
terrifying.
Antlers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cocktail I made, I went with the light premium tonic, and then just a little bit of lemon. I thought I'd just switch things up a little bit. They typically recommend... I was going to say,
did they have a recommendation of...
Their recommendation, the tonics, I just can't get here. So I didn't even recognize them. They must be like European based. And the garnishments they recommend were grapefruit and blueberry. So, which I didn't have, but I went with just a little bit citrus, but switch it up. So let me know what you think.
Cheers.
So I kind of haven't tried it this way at all. Oh. But I do like that.
The tonic and the lemon sort of like tamp down.
Yeah. I just made this up for today, but that was
it seems like a solid on-the-fly recipe then.
Yeah, so that worked out well. Okay, the distillery that this comes from is called Norska Brenneriet, and it's located in Grimsted, which is in southern Norway.
Okay.
And I just read this. The title of that distillery means like the little distillery or the craft distillery, I think is what the Norwegian definition of their name is. So now I guess there used to be a production monopoly in Norway up until like 2005. So it was like state-run distilleries, I think, that were making everything over there. So once that monopoly was like dissolved in 2005, they ended up becoming the first private distillery in Norway after more than 80 years of this monopoly. They're currently the second largest distillery in Norway. They were founded in 2011 by two owners, Odd Nelvik and Stig Berikensten. And they had originally wanted to create a cask-age aquavit. That was the whole reason. Sounds great. Yeah, that was the whole reason for them wanting to start this distillery. And then in addition to gin and aquavit, they also distill rum, whiskey, and then some other like liqueurs. So, but this, just became available, I want to say like within the last 6 months here. It's the first like gin I had seen from Norway, and I literally bought it about 2 minutes after I saw it. I'm like, this will be
a perfect
compliment for your gin from Denmark, and I'm really glad that you had a chance to come on the show so we could try these today. So.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
So one question I did have for you. I seem to have left my glasses somewhere. I don't need them. It's fine. One question I did have for you is, in your previous trips to Denmark and Copenhagen, have you ever had a chance to visit like any of the little neighboring Scandinavian countries?
Yes. My brother and I think on maybe my first trip there, we took a train over to Sweden.
Oh, okay.
To Malmö. And it is it's a different island, but it's not all that far away. It is not uncommon for folks to live there and commute into the city, into Copenhagen, excuse me.
Okay.
So there's a rail system that is a bridge, or excuse me, a rail and highway that is a bridge and also a tunnel.
Okay.
And so the trains are on the bottom half, the road surface is above, and we just spent the day there. It's quite similar. Like, we actually had some really good Iraqi food there, which was not what I was expecting, but it was very welcome. So yes, I was able to spend a day there, but it's not really like a whole dip into the culture because it's just so similar, and it's basically like a suburb of Copenhagen.
Yeah, I was just since they're it's bigger, but it reminds me of Europe, especially like Western Europe, reminds me a little bit of the East Coast, where you don't have to like drive too far, and you can find yourself in like different, like out east we would end up in different states, but there you can end up in like completely like different countries and stuff like that. So yeah, I just I thought you had been to Sweden, but I wanted to. I
mean, it's quite common for like my nephew. He's into judo, so they'll have tournaments in Sweden quite often, and not just in Malmo, but throughout the rest of the country there.
Do they have is any in particular other Scandinavian country, do you know just off the top of your, like, considered a big rival of theirs?
Not that I know of right off the top of my head, but I would assume they all sort of at one time warred with each other.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, they didn't get the name Viking for nothing, right?
Or I wonder if it might be sort of sport specific, like it is here.
Oh.
Like for us, like I would say, like for our national team when it comes to soccer, like Mexico's our big rivalry.
Right.
But if you look at our men's hockey team, it's Canada.
Yeah. I mean, so the Danes are really into cycling.
Yep.
Handball, soccer, or football. And so, they're competitive in those three sports, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they're fairly crazy for the cycling and the handball. Like,
for sure.
Oh,
produced a recent Tour de France.
No.
2-time winner. Which is, just super impressive.
Fun to watch.
Their soccer team has made World Cup and the Euro Cup. I mean, they're not a big country, but they're definitely producing some really good athletes.
Population the size of our state here in Michigan.
Yeah, that's...
And the majority of those folks live in and around Copenhagen.
The majority do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think it's like, yes. And there are a couple of other larger cities throughout the country.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. It would remind me of sort of like Alaska, where just the density of a
like
large
Juneau
city.
or Anchorage,
where you've got that many people hanging around, so... Yeah, I had done a river cruise with my mom and sisters a couple of years ago. Got to see parts of Europe, but I think they have something similar, but I think it'd be more along the lines of an ocean cruise, but I think where you could hit like all those Scandinavian countries, and that could be
sort of
kind of interesting.
So when you had asked about visiting some of the other Scandinavian countries, I've been lucky enough on a couple of the trips to go somewhere very different, because when we had talked, my brother and I about, I'm going to be here for 2 weeks, like we can take a side trip, let's go to Germany or something, and he's like, it's real similar to here a little bit, like let's go somewhere different. So, and we were able to go to Budapest once, and then Milan another time, and being able to see something so different was really awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the food in Italy was oof.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Budapest was no joke either.
Yeah, my sister, she just came back from another river cruise. They did the Danube this time.
Oh, yeah.
And they got to be in Budapest for
It's a real cool city.
Yeah. Everyone I know who's been there just speaks super highly of it. And I'm super jealous that you got to go to Milan. Not only just because it's in northern Italy, it's a part of the country
your
I haven't
dream
seen.
to be a Milan fashion designer.
No, but I don't know if it's still there, but for a while there was like a Wes Anderson themed cafe in Milan. So
it was there when I was there, but it was sort of outside of the city, I feel like.
Yeah, and I would have to check, but I'm not... Bianchi might be headquartered there, the cycling company, which I'm a large fan of their bikes. So, but they might be headquartered there. So,
it's a cool city if you get the opportunity to go.
No, at some point I would love to just go and check out. Like,
it's a nice mix of that sort of like, you know, northern Italian traditions, but, you know, super modern and cosmopolitan because of, well, not only the fashion, but, you know, it's not the business hub, but it's a pretty big business hub. Big finance hub.
Yeah, I mean, northern Italy is like the industrial powerhouse, and then southern.
And that's the first place I was introduced to the Aperol Spritz, and that chokehold hasn't let go.
It is it's such
tasty
a tasty,
summer beverage.
Fun summer beverage. It is so. It's fun.
Hot there in the summer too. So.
Yeah. I think actually they're hosting the Winter Olympics this winter.
Yep, 2026. Yep.
Is it in Turin again?
I think actually Milan's the host, but you know it'll have to be spread out because it's, you know, Milan's not in the mountains, but not too far from.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to check that. I wonder what.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind like jetting over there, catching a little hockey, and I don't know,
see something different.
The luge, you know, bobsledding,
some ice dancing.
Yeah. The Winter Olympics for some reason as a kid have always appealed to me because I think a number of the events just have that. There's a slight more danger element to it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's speed, and you could sort of
downhill, like
wipe
skiing.
out.
That's like, you know, they're cruising around at 80 miles an hour. Snowboarding
now, and that like the
giant
snowboard cross, and they're like racing, like. And when I was a kid, I loved playing outdoors, like in the winter, and like sledding, just running around, and like doing all that stuff. And I don't know, the sports in Winter Olympics just really appeal to me, and I think it's because of the speed and then the slight danger.
When I was a kid, or maybe I wasn't a kid, it was probably like 13, 14, no, less. We took a trip out to a winter trip, a Christmas trip to Lake Placid. And we had family out in New York at the time, and we all met there for like a, you know, Christmas vacation. And we got to do like a, you know, little luge, a little bobsled, like on the actual like Olympic tracks.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I think Muskegon is one of the only other places in the country where you can try like luge and stuff like that, because it's one of the training centers for the national team. So
I've always wanted to try the skeleton one where you go
head first.
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference? You're already on this tiny piece of metal, like cruising along at 80 miles an hour on top of ice, whether my feet first or head first. I think I'm going to get pretty messed up either way.
I'm almost sort of with you, though. I would think head first, you sort of see what's coming and maybe you can react. Although, if I think about it, it's just your head sticking out. Your arms are like tucked like behind you or something. So
yeah. But would you rather have you have to lean up and watch from the back of the luge and then just get tossed?
I don't know. Maybe we should just try a 2-man bobsled.
I think we should do that. Yeah.
That seems more fun. I'll let you push. You're younger.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
You're gonna have to sit up front and steer.
Yeah, I'll steer.
Okay, perfect.
I think that's.
We both have those cycling legs. We can push good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think that should be fine. So.
Coming soon this winter, sponsored by Botanical Trails.
Yeah, a late entry into the Italian
2026 Milan Olympics. The unheard of.
Yeah, but no, nowadays they put like those giant track stars into bobsleds because they can get going so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Have like the one guy who sort of knows what's going on. You're like, you steer.
Yep, you just sit up here up front. Yeah. I wonder if it's like a horse jockey. Is it really small guy up front or small person up front?
I don't think so. I think they wanted to be pretty solid because
I mean the mass,
the weight, you just kind of get a little bit more speed going. Would be my guess. Yeah. So. Now, I know you snowboarded in the past. Do you still participate in that?
It's been a couple of seasons, but I actively follow it. I watch a lot of it, keep up a lot of it, listen to a lot of it. And this, when it was in the Olympics, it's, so exciting to see that at such a high level.
Yeah.
And it's also a little terrifying.
I really want to try it, but I think part of the reason is I love the jackets. Like, I like the outfits, and the jackets just really appeal to me, and I just want to feel like I got a cool jacket, and I'm out there kind of going around.
We can get you one of those jackets just anyways.
Yeah. But I don't know, I feel like I would do better at that than skiing. Although everyone says it's hard, but Like, I learned to surf out in Hawaii.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you've ever done any sideways standing, skateboarding, surfing, wakeboarding, anything like that, the carryover from that to the snow and snowboarding is fantastic.
Now, it was also quite a while ago when I surfed, but I would just like, I don't know, I just feel like my body would do better with that. So
I feel like the learning curve for snowboarding is shorter. Like, if you started and went on a trip and, rode every day for like 3 days, you'd be better off or more comfortable in advance on the third day as a new snowboarder than you would as a new skier.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might break your wrist, but
you
got another one.
Right. I probably wouldn't be going that fast initially, right?
It's not about that. It's about falling on the snow and ice.
Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun, though. I mean, it's still something I think about, weirdly all the time.
Yeah, I like every winter. I'm like, nope, this is the winter I'm going to go try. And then it's like March. I'm like, shoot.
It's tough, though. Here in Michigan, unless you're going up north, we don't have a ton of those great things here.
Yeah.
It really makes a difference if you have really great fresh snow that makes those falls easier and a little less icy.
That I can understand. Mm-hmm. But also just starting off, I'd be fine with, like, down here where it's not, like, super hilly. And,
Yeah, there is the safety in that.
I wouldn't be, like, going too fast.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else you want to chat about before we hop into trivia?
No, let's go for it.
All right. It is your turn. This is also a national treasure. So, again, questions about national beverages of various countries. Germany has 2 national drinks, one of which is lager, which you would be very familiar with. What is the other one? Your options are Rumpel Minz, mineral water, Jägermeister, or Fanta. So again, the question is, Germany has 2 national drinks, one of which is lager. What is the other one? And again, your options are Rumpel Minz, and that's M-I-N-Z.
Yeah.
Okay. Mineral water, Jägermeister, or Fanta.
Yeah, 2 of those things remind me of college. The other 2, 3 of those 4 things remind me of college, but mineral water?
Close. Fanta.
Oh,
so
really?
It was the non-alcohol option, yes.
That's wild.
I would have totally said Jägermeister, so. I would have totally gotten that one wrong, so.
Are you a fan of either of those?
I will be honest, I don't mind Jägermeister.
Sure.
Like, if it comes to, it's been a while, but, like, doing a shot of that doesn't bother me. I don't get like, I would do that 100 times over, like, tequila and stuff. But that was more from just a couple rough days before with, like, tequila, so.
I've always sort of enjoyed those really herbal, like, almost medicinal liqueurs. So that was not a problem for me. Like, as soon as people brought that out, I was like, oh, this tastes like a Good and Plenty. I'm very much on board with this. Let's go.
Yeah. No, they were good. So, okay. We had talked about before we started recording for Off the Beaten Path that I would go first. So, and I think I don't know if you've dipped into this yet, but I know you and I have talked about it. And I think I've been trying to nudge you into it. So anyhow, my selection today is a TV series that is on HBO or HBO Max or I don't know. They just renamed themselves again. I think they're back to HBO Max, but whatever. But it's a limited series. It's done. It was 3 seasons, and it's called Somebody Somewhere. And it is set in Manhattan, Kansas.
Yep.
And sort of the gist of the story is this lady had been kind of an entertainer out in New York, and she comes home because her sister's passed away, and she's back to kind of help out with family, with her parents who live on this farm that they used to run, and then she has a sister, and the seasons are only 7 episodes each, so it's not super long. The episodes themselves are like 30 minutes or less. But what I what I really enjoyed about that show is I thought they did an amazing job of kind of showing what like an adult friendship is like, especially like trying to create new friendships as an adult.
Yeah, so that's a hard thing.
And I've gone through that, doing that at a couple different points in my life, but I just thought they did a really amazing job of catching it. And I know it's a little odd to say because one of the co-stars on the show won an Emmy this year for his portrayal of Joel, who's ends up being like a really good friend of the main character. And he's such a good character. Like, I would want a Joel, in my life. So I don't know if you've started it yet or if you have, how far into it you are.
I watched the first season, I think relatively recent after it came out.
Okay.
And did HBO do it all the way through? Had they owned it from the jump? Cause,
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So for some odd reason, I was thinking it might have been on Hulu, but no. And I really enjoyed it. And then I think just sort of fell off, so I never dipped into the second season, but...
Well, they also didn't really...
I think they took a break, too.
Yeah, and there was a bit of a gap, and then when it came back, they weren't like, hey, it's back. Right. They were just kind of like, oh, season 2 is available.
But I do remember that dynamic between Joel and the main character being, like, really interesting and, like, heartwarming, but also sort of, like, tough.
Yeah.
Like, like they're both having to put in sort of work to be,
Yeah, and...
or going through changes in their life.
Yeah, and like, can you be vulnerable with a friend, and can you start to like rely on?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, no, you want that, but you can see sort of it's a struggle at times for the main character. But I just think that show is just incredibly well done. The characters are really well done. It's at times a bit abrasive, like it's not. I think some people would probably describe it as like a dark comedy.
Yeah, I would say it lives in that realm. Yeah, dark comedy.
There's sort of some rough patches, around part of it. You don't always like all the characters all the time, which is okay, but they just do, I don't know, I think such a good job of showing what new friendships are like and especially like for adults and being older, and because it's just not as easy to make friends when you're older. Like, it's so much easier when you're a kid because you're either in elementary or high school, or especially like in college, you're all thrown together into this thing. Or I think even especially like early when you maybe start your career, and it's like you and some coworkers and you're kind of there, but then down the road all of a sudden you're with coworkers, but you're not like all the same age.
Yeah, and then you either have to find a way to connect with them or say, these people are just coworkers, or do I need or want friendships out of it? Yeah,
and like I returned to work, I don't know, it was over a year and a half ago now, and it's been nice because I've made like some new friends. Yeah. But then I will talk to them, and then I find out like I am around or sometimes older than their parents, and I'm like, I don't know that I can hang out with you anymore. What's your mom's or dad's number? I think I should go hang out with them. And I'm just like, ugh.
I think everyone also needs a wide range of age of friends, like intergenerational friendships. Like, I mean, that's a reach of a term, but having a broad, width of age ranges of your friends, I think really helps, bring a different perspective or challenge your current perspective on a lot of things, whether it's, life, art, politics, comedy, like...
Yeah, I mean, they keep me up to speed on, like, I don't pay attention, a ton of attention to, like, social media and jazz like that.
Yeah, they created the TikTok for you, showed you how to set it up, or...
Yeah, I can't even spell it yet, but maybe eventually. But no, you're right. I mean, you met Sean.
Yep.
I met him, like, 5 years ago. He and I are about 23 years apart. Like, he could literally be my son.
Yeah.
But I got to be in his wedding, this past spring, which was great. There's a part of me that was really worried for him if people didn't know his side of the family, and they're like, why is his dad standing up there? But, but it's, it's cool that stuff works out.
Yeah, absolutely.
My sister Amy's like, I like that the youngins like having you around, and it's kind of funny, but it's like, it's also sort of nice that I can hang out with, like, younger friends and...
Yeah, I mean, and you're a young, spirited kind of person, I feel like.
Or immature. It depends how you want to frame that definition.
I mean, they sort of said it in a pretty good light, but we can go immature.
We'll go with years. Yeah. We'll go with years. So, but I highly recommend somewhere.
I will dip back in. I will pick that back up. Yeah.
And I think with a lot of series that go on and do well, like each season gets a little bit better than the next.
Okay.
So I think if you liked season 1, I think you'll really like season 2 and 3, and then like me, you'll be like a little sad that it's over, but also really happy that you got to watch the conclusion of the show. So that's my recommendation. So.
Okay. Well, my off the beaten trail, is actually a book, a novel from the writer Tom Robbins. Make sure I got another roadside attraction. I'm not exactly a voracious reader or a fast reader. And I did finish this book this year, and it was fantastic. It's written in a character-based style, so it was sort of hard for me to follow at first. But once I got like the rhythm of it, he's such a descriptive writer. I feel like I can smell and feel the places that he described, and it's a story that challenges people's ideas about religion and how religion impacts our world. Okay. And I don't want to give hardly anything away because I think it's just so bizarre and so funny that I think everyone should, or if you're an interested reader at all, that would be one to pick up. It's funny. It's a great story, and it's fairly old. I think it came out in early 70s.
Yeah, he
also just passed away this year, I believe.
Yeah, he wrote a series of a lot of different novels. Yep. I would have to go look it up. I've read one of them, but yeah, he has a lot out. He's a popular, well-known author. I've not read that one.
Yeah, but that one was fantastic and just bizarre. That's the only way I could keep coming back to. Is this is so odd, but there were parts of it that I was, sort of eating up so quick. And then other parts I was just this is too much. I'm having a tough time following whose perspective this is coming from. But I feel like I want to read it again now that I've got the idea behind it.
Had it been recommended to you, or had you just...
Yeah, our friend Jeremy recommended it to me.
Okay.
Who he actually is quite a, prolific reader, so...
Yeah.
I get a lot of recommendations from him as well, and you. So yeah, that one's. I would give it a go if you've never picked up those types of books.
And again, it was called
Another Roadside Attraction.
Yep.
He did have a couple of other books that were. I think one of them turned into a movie. Was it Even Cowgirls Get the Blues?
Yeah.
Yep. That was one of the big, really popular ones.
Yeah. Shoot, I wish I could remember which of his I read. But yeah, I read that probably 20 or more years ago. But yeah, he's got a whole series. If you read one of his books and like it, I think you're going to be pretty fortunate because he's got a lot of material out there that you can dip into and check out. So
I will say as a follow-up, the concept and then discussion around religion, growing up Catholic, having that be a part of our, we both grew up Catholic. Having that be an ever-present part of our life, sort of reading about it in a, comical sort of way later, I think is always very helpful and funny, and always is an interesting topic for me.
Yeah, and so Catholicism is part of what they touch on in that novel?
Catholicism is, yes, but religion and
in general,
spirituality is the overarching theme.
No, I agree. When you... And you and I also, we not only grew up Catholic, but we went to Catholic school. Oh, yeah. So you kind of get
you're sort of inundated
a pretty good fill of it. But it does make then movies or books or series or whatever may then touch on Catholicism. It does make it a little bit more relevant or easy to understand or more enjoyable to some extent when you have kind of that baseline. So
I will say this: there's a bit about a sect of monks that are assassins as well.
Oh,
yeah. So
that's okay.
Wrap me back in again.
Yeah. Well, that's I didn't have those guys at my...
Oh, yeah, for sure. We did not have that down on Bridge
Yeah.
Street at St. James. There were no assassins in our school.
Those brothers were not in my high school teaching us anything.
Maybe the Jesuits had them.
Maybe that would be true. Well, listen, thanks a bunch because, I mean, part of this episode was sponsored by you, so thank you so much for bringing that gin from Denmark. It was... I'm going to enjoy it, and then I think when we go there, I'll just ship a box of their other ones back, because they've got, like, rosemary and...
Yeah, the three... I think it was a 3-pack in duty-free, and it was, like, a rosemary, this one, and then...
I want to try that sea buckhorn. I don't know why, but I just want to try it.
I bet we could find it down at the Southern Guard.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Okay, we should try that sometime.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, well, thanks again, and we'll see everyone next time.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us. Feel free to subscribe to us on whichever platform you listen to your podcasts. Also, I want to take a quick minute to thank Darin VanderMolen for all of his help behind the scenes. Without him, this podcast probably wouldn't even exist, and his help is greatly appreciated. Hope you have a great week, and we will look forward to seeing you the next time we go down the botanical trails. This has been a Shits and Giggles production.